CompTrain Masters, Open 18.3 is a combination of movements that will test our upper body stamina. Much of this workout, for the vast majority of us, will come down to how well we manage the double unders. Whether we're an athlete looking to complete all 8 sets of 100 or our first ever 100 in a workout, we can both benefit greatly from the right mindset. And this approach is less about a specific breakup strategy and rather about efficiency. A micro goal can be, let's minimize the amount of trips we have over the course of the 14-minute duration. If we move in with that mindset, minimize trips, we know we need to break earlier than we think we need to. This can be a good thing. The most common pitfall in this workout will be when an athlete pushes too far on the jump rope early on. What we don't want to do here is wait for that first trip. As many of us have come to realize, when our double under technique starts to slide, it slides fast. And it's very hard to bring it back when you're already fatigued. Fighting off poor technique is crucial in the first few sets to finding our best score. Let's be proactive versus reactive. Even for highly skilled double under athletes, a breakup strategy of 40-30-30, just as an example, may be advisable. When we think about it, a break in the rope can be very short. It's a near immediate reset. Giving up some seconds here so that our technique holds true for the following rounds and sets will pay off over the 14 minutes. Much like the combination of Open 18.1, it's not always just about that specific movement. It's how it impacts the remainder of the workout. If we're moving inefficiently early in the jump rope, we can expect that to take an impact on the other movements. On the following overhead squats, we're looking for positioning over speed. We naturally don't want any extra time under tension, but what's highly important here is moving well. The better we move here, the less demand we place on our shoulders. If mobility allows, take a slightly more narrow grip on the overhead squat so that it's more forgiving on the wrists and it provides a stronger overhead position to work with. Lastly, ensure we're not death gripping the bar overhead. Relax our forearms just a bit once the bar is in position, knowing we need them for the next set in the jump rope. We aren't looking to make up a ton of ground here on the overhead squats. Stay smooth, stay controlled, but once again, efficiency is the bigger player than speed. Move well so we continue the pace back in the jump rope for our second 100 reps. As we pick up the jump rope for the second set, and for every set thereafter, take a breath. Take a composure pause to recollect ourselves before we begin. In 18.1 and 18.2, we sought after immediate transitions. Today, we actually want to consider the opposite approach. Rushing into a large set of double unders often causes unnecessary trips, which is ultimately wasted time and effort. It's worth a brief moment to center ourselves in the jump rope and take a breath. With a larger workout in mind, we know that moving into these reps with our best technique sets us up for our best score. For our 35 to 54 divisions, next is the ring muscle-ups. Here our focus is on our backswing. Especially in shoulder-intensive combinations, we tend to lose the length and quality of the backswing on the rings. But much like the first pull of a snatch, it's crucial to finding a good repetition. It starts the whole piece. Be the long whip and get our legs extended long behind our body. For our 55 plus divisions, we have chest to bar pull-ups. Reminding ourselves of that same cue, open up the backswing, can bring the same benefit. For all divisions, in terms of a breakup strategy, there is no right or wrong. But let's apply the same theme that we started with, shoulder management. Recognizing that all movements in 18.3 impact the shoulders, pushing here in the rings or the pull-up bar may come at the expense of the following double unders. We're looking to sustain our effort for 14 minutes, and despite them being different movements, they can absolutely compound on each other. So breaking up these sets into smaller chunks can pay off with that bigger picture in mind. Much like the double unders, don't get sucked into just that specific movement. Next, we return back to the jump rope for our third set of double unders. Following that, on to the dumbbell power snatches. There is a new standard this year if we're changing in the air, and that is we must bring one head of the dumbbell below the top of our head before changing. To keep it simple, and to give ourselves a target we can practice as we warm up, let's aim to change hands at neck level. Taking a no rep here for changing too soon is an error we can easily avoid by some practice. Much like the overhead squats earlier, we aren't looking to make up a bunch of time on the dumbbell snatch. Instead, maintaining efficiency is at the forefront so we can get back to the jump rope composed and ready for more double unders. The last movement inside the round is back on the pull-up bar. Bar muscle-ups for our 35 to 54 divisions, and chest-to-bar pull-ups for our 55 plus divisions. At this point, we can expect our shoulders to be taxed. Smaller but consistent sets here pay off well. Many athletes last year had great success with singles on the bar muscle-up workout, another option to consider. All right, so big takeaway points for 18.3. Number 1 is efficiency and management of the double unders. This is the focus point for the vast majority of athletes. Break before you need to with a larger picture in mind. And despite having a plan, be in tune with your body. If we feel ourselves losing efficiency, break there to regain it, especially when it's early inside the workout. In the end, definitely go for it. Every rep's going to count, but in the beginning, the first few sets, we need to conserve our double unders. Number 2, expect adversity and expect to overcome it. This is a deliberate combination of movements intended to challenge not just the double unders, but our gymnastic skills. This combination will fatigue our shoulders. Have a plan, but much like our double unders, be able to adjust it on the fly. And number 3, spend as much time as needed mobilizing and warming the shoulders. The common look at 18.3 is that it's a calf crusher, lots of double unders. Be that as it may, it won't be our calves that slow us down. It's going to be our shoulders. If we're not holding good positions overhead on the weighted movements and we can't open up our kip swing for the gymnastic movements, fatigue compounds faster and we won't be able to find our best score. Spend the time warming up and priming these movements with our double unders so that we're moving our best when we need it the most. Team, that's 18.3. Let's go get it.